On Tuesday at 7 p.m. to catch Speaking the Facts with Charlie and JR.
Tune in. What's up? What's up, everybody? We are back. This is Speaking the Facts with Charlie and JR here every Tuesday at 7 p.m. for now.
For now.
Yeah, for now. We will be changing to Wednesdays, and I will verify the time and let everybody know. But we will be changing to Wednesdays. I'm certain it's Wednesdays, but let me verify.
Okay.
But in February. But for now, it's Tuesday at 7 o'clock.
And
we
today
here.
Is Tuesday in January.
That's right. That's right. In January. See, that's right. See, I'm trying to wind back the clock. I'm trying to get a little more time. See, I'm gonna go ahead and get my old joke in because she.
Yeah, I give him a hard time about being old every week.
So
and that's why with her here this week, and and I don't know. Do you have the sugars yet? You get the old people sugars yet?
No. We are medicine free. So
he ain't got the sugar, so he can indulge.
Yeah, so I can indulge. And speaking of indulging, this is beautiful. I have to say this is absolutely beautiful.
Yes,
and since we have something here, since we have this lovely display, I'm gonna go
visual display.
Yes, this lovely visual display. I'm going to let you go ahead and introduce our guest.
So we have Miss Nicole here and I'm gonna screw it up, but it's 4 girls and a guy.
Baking
company. I did it right.
So see, you didn't screw it up. Welcome, Nicole.
Yes.
Now you will have to come closer to the microphone so they can hear you. You do want them to hear you.
So real quick though, before we introduce Nicole completely, who are you? Because
you know what? I didn't do that. I just looked at it.
I know he just got. He's in a trance.
It was like
he forgot
get you the
introduction. He forgot the introduction.
I bypassed all of that. I did. So y'all forgive me, but I was mesmerized by the visual display. But again, this is Speaking the Facts with Charlie and JR. And of course, I am JR, otherwise known as Fly Guy. Don't call it a comeback because I've been fly. And over there it is Charlie, which is Fly Money.
AKA his daughter.
Yes, AKA my daughter, who always calls me old. That's okay.
That's right.
I'm still standing. And we have our producer in the back on the phone. She's busy. Kim, AKA it is just Fly. And we got the Fly girls and the Fly guy here. And so now that we have taken care of the official things,
the official things. People need to know. We don't know if every week we get the same people, and hopefully we get new people every week, and they want to know who we are.
Well, you know what? And by the way, we have we have Gabe over here on the knobs and faders. Gabe, what is the Skype number, by the way? 214-556-6239. So if you hear something you want to talk about or see something you want to talk about,
that's right. And it's lots to talk about.
Yeah, give us a call. And
what's that number again? One more again for me. 214-556-6239. I'm gonna have to remember that.
Yes, I will too, so I don't have to ask him every
556-2639. 214.
Hey, I'm honest about mine.
Yeah, I know we can put a piece of paper up there, and then we can rely and to call in. That way we can actually be just flowing and going.
I should have a teleprompter anyway.
That's right.
But now that we have taken care of the official business,
that's right.
Nicole, tell us about what we're looking at here, because this is absolutely. I wish y'all could be in here with us. This is absolutely amazing.
Absolutely. Okay, so I am the owner and baker of 4 Girls and a Guy Baking Company.
Mm-hmm.
And we specialize in Southern style desserts that are reminiscent of our childhood in our grandmother's kitchen.
Mm-hmm.
So first of all, I get a lot of questions about the name of my business. So I have 4 daughters and 1 son. So my business is a legacy to my children. And a lot of the desserts that we offer are actually my grandmother's desserts that we captured her recipes before she passed away. Okay. So I try to keep things like sometimes I'll put a twist on an old recipe, but I try to do those traditional things that we can't necessarily find any other places. So today I brought with me rum cake with butter rum glaze, chocolate chip pecan cookies, a peach cobbler. I brought some pecan sweet potato pies and a little bit of our Valentine cookie mixes that we're offering for the holiday season.
Neat. So I have a question for you.
Okay.
So I'm a business owner as well.
Okay.
And so I tease, and I've always said for years that in the morning is my beta period. It's like my beta planning period, because I believe that the reason why I feel like I am successful in my career is that I devoted my mornings to my career. And after the morning, I focused on my job, if that makes sense, meaning anything that was going to grow me professionally is what I focused on, whether or not it was, my business planning, people to reach out to, what classes to take, what to do. So your 4 gals and a guy, do you feel like you started your business, did that idea birth from your beta planning period, and kind of how did you get your start?
Actually, okay, so I've been baking since I was 13. And I started off by baking like scratch biscuits on the weekends for my family. And then I just looked at it as something fun to do. I really never took it seriously. But when I was about to graduate from college in 2012, I wanted to throw myself a boat party for graduation. So to pay for that party, I would send my brother to work with mini cakes, and he would sell them for me. And then I used that money to pay for my graduation party. But I still looked at it as more like a hobby. So in 2019, I was going through a divorce, and I decided I actually went to church, and one of my friends, her husband, was speaking. And he told me, I wasn't doing anything from a business perspective at that time, but what he told me is the answer to your financial woes is in your baking. And I was like, okay.
Well, thank you.
If you say so.
Yeah. So I then went home that night. I made some business cards. I started passing them out at work, and then the orders just started coming in, and that was in 2019. And so I've been doing it ever since.
Full time?
Well, no. So I started full time in 2021.
Okay.
So from 2019 until 2021, I was an executive assistant for a global accounting firm. And, I never felt like I was a good fit for corporate America. I just wasn't a good fit. I didn't enjoy any job I've ever had or anything like that. And so one day a customer came over, and she was like, yeah, I think, God is waiting for you to trust him, and your business is going to take off. And I went in my house after I gave her order, and I emailed the company, and I just resigned effective immediately.
Okay.
And then I just went from there, and I was like, so I do a lot of praying. And
exactly.
So when you were working, did the baking balance your life? Did it give you something?
Was it therapeutic? Like,
Yes.
you're like, oh, I've had a rough day, let me go in here and bake.
Not at that time, simply because I was new. So it was mostly orders from work. And then after I left in 2020, summer of 2021, I had to find more avenues to get more business. So that's when I started going to like local farmers markets, and some of my customers would connect me with some of their corporate connects. And that's how I started to get it. But initially it was just, I did it and it was fun. The thing that I like the most about baking is people's responses to my desserts. Yeah. I like people telling me how good it is.
Right. It's like, oh, I need some more, and I need some more.
That's I think for me, that's the part that I enjoy the most.
And the response part is coming soon.
I know, right? Because you will see us eat these divine treats in front of us live. Like
That's right. So now that you've gotten your business off the ground, because I'd like to
taste a treat.
Well, no. Well, yes. But stop reading my mind.
He's ready.
I know, right?
But I like to celebrate womanhood and promote manhood. So as Joe Brown would say. So what would you say to other women who were in your situation and maybe don't fit in corporate America? What would you say to them to get them to get that push out the door?
Step out on faith. That's number one. Well, let me back up. Obedience is number one. And then faith comes second, because to be honest, my business has been somewhat slow to grow, but that was my own fault, because I'm a Taurus and I'm stubborn and I'm hard-headed. But I just realized that last year.
I know. I was today years old when I
Yeah.
realized
I
that.
was today years old when I realized how God was telling me to do something, and my response to Him was, "I'm not doing that." And in that moment, I said, "Girl, who do you think you
You
are?"
are.
I was
Listen.
like, "Man, you are really hard-headed and stubborn." So at that point, I was like, "Okay, God, I see what I see what you're saying here. I need to get it together." So it's really about obedience and faith. And I mean, I had kids at the time. Like I'm a mother of 5. I had 3 kids. I think I had 2 kids left at home at the time, 1 in college. And and to be honest, you just have to get the courage to do what makes you happy, because I don't regret being in corporate America. I had a lot of customer service. I had executive assistant background. It gave me the background for what I'm doing today. So it taught me how to treat customers, how to talk to different people. So I don't regret any of those experiences. However, I'm not a good fit for corporate America because I like to ask questions.
And see, and I love that, right? And it's important to ask questions. I just want to second that, because when I quit my corporate America job, and when I quit my corporate America job back in 2000, I was making 6 figures, and I quit my job. And my husband at the time stopped speaking to me. And I stepped out on faith. I was like, you know what? I don't know what I don't know how it's going to go, but everything in me led me to send that email that day.
Yes.
And I was like, oh, I feel light. I feel light.
Yes.
I felt good about what it was I was going to be doing.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, and although I do work a job, I have kind of walked away from corporate America myself. Because I was the director of HR for an airline company, an air cargo company. Okay. And and then I went to a paralegal class and thought I wanted to be a paralegal, only to the law aspect of it I love that. It was great. The law aspect was great, but having to deal with the people because everybody's a lawyer once they take a paralegal class, or because I used to be a police officer too. So everybody that's got anything to do with the law is an expert. You know what I'm saying? So I found that was becoming it was wearing on me.
Yes.
So I work for a nonprofit now, but we work with kids, so I can
That's different.
So it's definitely different, and than the corporate America. So have you patented your recipes? I know you said they were your grandmother's, but competition being what it is and all,
I have not. That is something I'm working on. It's because this year I have a feeling, just based on different things that have been happening, that this year is going to be pretty monumental for my business. So I will be looking to that in the very near future. But I'm not really worried about competition. I stand on everything.
That's right. That's supposed to be. You know what? There is no competition. There is no competition. You do what you do. And I tell people all the time, baking is not something new, but it's something that you are doing. Mortgages and real estate, what I do, it's not something new, but it's something I am doing. I am my own brand. You are your own brand. So people are going to do business with you because they feel like they can relate with you. They can refer you out to people. And what you're doing is you're doing it with love and care. So I have not a special, but I have a question for you. Okay. What is the 4-year battle that you're celebrating today? What is that? Did I ask that question right? Something you overcame 4 years ago?
Well, fear, and just having the courage, because my mother, I was raised by a single mom. My mother believes strongly in education. I believe in education too, but in specific realms. Right. And although I'm a big advocate of education, I feel like if you're not going into certain areas, it can be a waste of money. But because my mother was, she grew up in a time where education was important, and degrees carried a different weight. She grew up much different than it is now.
If the degree carried dollars, it made a lot of sense. Exactly.
Right? Well, that's not necessarily the case anymore.
Not anymore.
But it carried a lot of cultural weight at that time.
Back then, yeah.
And it kudos and everything that came with that. So she was a big proponent of education, and so I always knew I wanted to be an entrepreneur, but because I think different value systems back then, they didn't necessarily understand that wasn't the direction I was put in. So it took a lot of courage, especially with having, being a mother of 5 children myself, to just say, hey, this is what I'm going to do. This is what I enjoy doing. I'm great at it, and I'm going to go for it and just see what happens. But the good thing of being a single mom, you take a lot of chances anyway. So this was not much different.
Yeah, that's right. Stepping
Yeah.
out there and doing what you're
Yeah.
supposed to do.
And I want to just you both, keep saying it. So I just kind of want to talk about the stepping out on faith. And you mentioned fear kept you from it.
Mhm.
And because fear and faith, if you have fear, it is a direct lack of faith in the same area.
Correct.
But having faith in something that you can't see is difficult for some people.
It is. Mhm.
It's difficult. I mean, it has been difficult for me. So let me be inclusive. But for those who are watching or listening, what we have sitting here is an example of someone that, courage is not the absence of fear. It's facing it. It's overcoming it.
That's right.
Yep.
And so I want to applaud, the entrepreneur, because I want to. Oh, there you go. Yeah,
this show we got
because we want to, promote, entrepreneurship. Like I said, I'm about freedom and prosperity for all people, but I definitely want to promote it when it's my people.
That's right.
Like I said, being proud of being Black and seeing someone that is Black succeed.
Right.
Because that absence of faith has permeated our society.
Yes.
To the point where because another thing absence of faith does it makes you think that you are the most important thing.
It makes you arrogant.
Yes. And you have no regard for life other than your own, or maybe not even your own. At some point.
Right.
So I want to encourage people watching and listening to just pick up on the fact that it really takes faith to step out on anything.
Correct.
Yes.
Like I said, I do have a job now, but as you know, I have been an entrepreneur. I made my living doing music and acting for a long time. So
that's right.
So it takes faith to step out.
Yes.
And to take a chance of someone not liking what you do, and until you realize that there's always going to be somebody that doesn't like what you do.
And them telling somebody, I don't like that. That other person will be a little inquisitive and be like, why they didn't like it? Let me try it. I mean, it just happens that way. It's good and bad press is good. It just goes that way.
Right.
Somebody's like, it wasn't that bad to me. Okay. And it could be
I
how that
haven't
day.
gotten a lot of complaints. I'm very in the almost 5 years I've been doing it, I think I got maybe 3 complaints, and I don't think they were necessarily valid.
They were.
It's like, did you eat the cake? Did you eat the cookie?
Yeah.
Then don't call me. No.
This is a true story. One day I opened the door for a lady. She walked through the door and she said, "Thank you," and I said, "You're welcome. Have a nice day."
Uh-huh.
You can't tell me what kind of day to have, and turned it into Yosemite Sam before, and so there's always, my point is, there's always going to be somebody that doesn't like something.
That's what
and we can't allow that to keep us from stepping out on faith and doing something beautiful like this.
Right.
This is impressive because because baking, I have baked. But
what have you baked?
Well,
because I want to know.
Inquiring minds want to know. Well, I
I
have actually baked when I was a kid. I cooked all the time.
When you was a young whippersnapper.
Yeah, I cooked all the time, but I did. I baked pies, sweet potato pie.
Yeah, easy bake oven.
That doesn't qualify.
And not in an easy bake oven.
Easy bake does not qualify.
No, it was not an easy bake oven. As a matter of, my mother made me learn to cook, though. She knows that. My mother made me learn to cook because it was like, you won't be able to take care of yourself.
That's
You
right.
know what I'm saying?
That's right.
But back to the sweet.
Yes. So obviously you're here and this is stepping out, and this is probably not even I don't know if this is a comfortable setting for you. Like, have you ever gone on a podcast? Have you ever,
No.
So this is something different. So this is something stepping into a new area.
Yes.
So how do you plan in this year of 2024? You're going to magnify and 10x your business. How do you plan on promoting your business and making sure more people know about you?
Well, I have one of my friends, he's been helping me a lot behind the scenes, because I'll be honest, the parts that excite me are creating new desserts, creating cookie mixes, things of that nature. The back office stuff, I don't really
You're
want to
like,
do
"Yeah,
that's
I don't
not
wanna do
fun.
that." Yes.
So he helps me a lot with that. So he's been connecting me with some social media influencers.
Uh-huh.
And actually I've gotten one review from one social media influencer, so we'll be getting more of those.
Excellent.
So I'll be promoting a lot through just connecting with social media, doing a lot more food festivals this year. I did my first food festival last year,
Uh-huh.
which was a tremendous feat, but I think I did pretty good considering it was my first one. And
Right.
I found out about it about 2 weeks before it was supposed to do, when you really should prep about 2 months in advance.
Oh, wow.
So I ended up selling out really, really quickly, and it was a 2-day festival, and I didn't anticipate selling out that fast. But this year, it taught me that's why you have to step out on faith. So if
Right.
you make that move, you learn from that experience, and if it doesn't go exactly the way
Right.
that you want it to go, you just try again, and you try to learn from each experience.
And so one thing that you said about preparation and planning, those are very important facts to anything. Keeping the food, fresh, because what is it? What kind of tips can you give to someone? I mean, we don't want you to give away your secrets, of course, but there's a little mini baker out there, like maybe myself. Maybe I want to, open up a box of cake mix, and should I add pudding to it? Are there anything that that can help people keep their desserts, make them last and keep them sweet? And even for you, when you're preparing for a show and you're having to bake in advance, if the show is a week out and you have to make all these desserts, how are you storing them, and how are you making it to where they're fresh and all that good stuff?
Well, I mean, I have a system in place. There are certain things that you can prep in advance. So, for example, when it's Thanksgiving, I know I sell a ton of sweet potato pies. So I actually make the mix in advance.
Okay.
I season it and everything. I put it in freezer bags and I freeze it. So each gallon size of mix makes 3 pies.
Uh-huh.
And I know that. So if I know I need 30 pies, I need to make 10 bags of mix. So as I start preparing to bake the pies, I take them out the freezer, thaw them out, put them in the pie shell, and bake them. You got a fresh pie.
Okay.
So you can do
Look at this whole scientific. She got it down. I mean, like, now I'm gonna be still reading. I'm like, okay, I need 1 stick of butter. And
no,
egg,
you'll get behind way too fast. And that's from
Yeah.
experience, just learning, because the first holiday I sold like 15 desserts. The next year was 100, and then it just kept growing and growing.
Wow.
So there's a lot of things that, cookie mix, for example, the cookie dough, you can make that in advance and freeze it. And then, like the day before you need it, you pull it out. And actually it's better if it bakes better if you have it in the freezer or the refrigerator 2 days prior to baking anyway. It bakes up a fluffier cookie.
Look at there first, the aspiring baker, you put in the refrigerator or the freezer 2 days in advance. It's a fluffier cookie.
There you
There
go.
we go. So, now, and I mean, I love sweets. I love my different things. I'm not necessarily a fan of sweet drinks, but I like, I definitely am a fan of a cake and a cookie and all that. How do you make your desserts to where, is there a secret to where it wouldn't be too sweet? I mean, is that part of the whole thing?
No.
Is it, you go all in,
No.
I
the
just
sweet?
go all in, and
Uh-huh.
hopefully it's not too sweet. But generally, I mean, I'm not gonna say that anything is healthy, because it's not.
Well, but if it's good, if it makes you feel good,
Well, everything
it-
in
the
moderation.
endorphin-
Everything in moderation.
the
Yes.
endorphins, the childhood memories, when you bite into that cookie, like, oh, I taste the butter, and I just,
Yes.
all that good stuff.
Now, keep in mind though, like for example, when someone buys a cake, and that's like the 6-inch cake that we have right here,
Mhm.
that could feed 2 to 3 people or more, just depending on how you slice it. So for somebody that lives by themselves, what I encourage them to do and get them to buy the cake is eat a little bit, and you can freeze it in the
Okay.
container that you purchased it in.
Okay.
So you can freeze it and take it out.
That's
as you
diet
need.
tips for you guys. So you get a cake like this and you slice it and then you
freeze it.
And you
And
freeze
it
it.
takes
Little bit at a
it takes
time.
you have to do a little work to have the next slice. You know what I'm saying? So so
I know, right?
You
You
don't
cut
have
it
to
up.
be greedy like me and eat it in one
Yeah,
bite.
exactly. And that's something that I know I definitely do. Like when I buy something, even if it's a bag of chips, I'll read it and I'll be like, okay, Charmaine, you're not gonna eat this whole bag of chips today, I'll eat over portion. Like even Kim, she got me one of my favorites is garlic noodles, and I got those on a Friday, and I ate some on that Friday, I ate some on that Saturday, and then I finished them on Sunday. So I typically do,
A little
But
bit
yeah,
at
yeah,
increments.
yeah, increments. I don't do it all together.
Not
You know,
me. I'm going on.
you know,
Once I get started, it's on.
it's
Like,
on. It's
yeah,
on.
I'm not about to ration it out.
So now part of your growth, though, is it you baking by yourself,
That
or do
was
you
gonna
have?
be my
Oh,
next
that was your next question. Oh,
Yeah.
I beat you to it.
Yes,
Wow.
you did.
Yes,
Yes,
I
you-
do all the baking.
Oh wow. Okay.
My kids, okay, so when I started, my kids some of them were minors. They're not minors anymore. They all live out of state. So
Okay.
it's just me.
Oh.
But even when they were home, like they wanted to be on Instagram and Twitter. They did not want to
Yeah,
be
yeah.
helping me bake.
So are you saying you occasionally had a little force or encouraged the labor, or just
Sometimes,
You know.
yeah, one of my daughters, my youngest daughter, she would bake a lot. And so, in fact, she was getting better at baking like the cream cheese pound cake better than me. So I would wake her up. I was like, hey, I need you to make these 2 cakes. And she would do them, and she would do a great job. And
Okay.
also, she became very good at making the German chocolate cake frosting, which takes a while to bake because you have to cook it, and you have to stir it and stir it. Well, she's good with that. I don't, that's not one of my favorite things to do, but I do it now. I don't.
You don't have a choice.
I don't
You're like,
have a
okay,
choice,
you want
but she
a
was
German
very
chocolate
good.
cake? Okay.
Yeah.
you know.
Okay.
It just takes so long. You have to stir for about 25 minutes.
Wow.
Just making sure that, because if you don't, it burns. You have to start over. So
I know you're
it's a
like
whole process.
I really love my customers.
Huh? By hand, yeah.
Yes.
That takes
Yes.
love.
Wow.
Yes.
So what is your, I guess, specialty, or what is it that you sell out of, and that you promote, and it's easy?
Peach cobbler. That's the easiest thing to make, and that is my top seller.
Peach cobbler.
Yes,
Mm.
I have to take peach cobbler everywhere I go, or people are not happy.
Oh, okay. Wow.
So the 2 things that I do take everywhere I go are the chocolate chip pecan cookies,
Which we have
Which is over
Yes.
there.
right there.
and the peach cobbler, and the rum cake. That's one of my best-selling cakes. So I brought
Ooh.
you all the best sellers.
Yes.
Yes. And we are so appreciative.
Yeah. So you just have to eat a little bit of all of
Yes.
it, and then
Yes.
and then we got 2 people over in the corner. Y'all
Yes,
gonna
we
help us
have-
eat some of this too?
Yeah. Gabe said you ain't leaving me out.
I think
Yeah.
he's ready to. He's ready to.
Yes.
So, and I
Huh? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
And I think
y'all
the
didn't
audience-
know it's 7:30. No, if you've been watching us this whole time, it's 7:30, and we're about to go in. Like,
that's
so,
right. That's right.
you know, yeah,
We're about to, it's showtime.
yeah, we've been waiting for
Let's
this
do it.
all day long. So while we get to the good stuff, so now if someone maybe wanted to, because a lot of times I have a lot of people reach out to me and they say, hey, I would love to have a mentor. I would love to shadow you. I want to see how you do things. Have you ever allowed someone to shadow you besides your kids? If someone reached out and say, hey, I want to learn how to bake. I love to bake, but I want to create and have a business like you, or can I help you? Do you do things like that? I mean, we need to be eating at the same time, but
Feel free to dive in.
Okay.
There's
Uh-oh.
some forks, and
okay.
there's a knife.
I'm
for
a,
the
I'm a,
cake.
let me pass one down to
Yeah.
Gabe. What do you
You want it all?
I
Okay.
want it all.
Oh, okay. So
Okay.
Help yourself. You can treat it like a buffet. Whatever you all
Okay.
want to do is fine with
So-
me. This is for you all.
Okay, so
I'm gonna
Everything.
cut the cake.
Yep,
My
yep.
hands are clean.
Okay.
Let me get some hand sanitizer. though.
Okay.
I'll be
Okay.
right back, y'all.
okay, so everything here looks. I know y'all can see it, but it's just to the eye. It's like, and I can see peach cobbler being, I can see peach cobbler being because it would definitely be one of my favorites.
Yes.
Yeah.
I like rolling out the peach cobbler crust and stuff like that.
But you're your only baker. So how
Yeah.
many hours a day do you bake then?
It depends on events that I have coming up. If I have like a food festival, I'll just bake all day or prepare, like do a lot of prepping all
Mhm.
day, the prepping of the sweet potato pie mix, or prepping the peaches for the peach cobbler before freezing. So 4 or 5 hours a day. It just depends. I mean, I've baked sometimes. If I have a really heavy event, I usually get up about 4 o'clock in the morning, and I'll bake all day until maybe 10 or 11 o'clock at night.
Wow. But you know what? It's labor of love, right?
Yes. Yes. So
yeah.
part of what makes the dessert so good is because I listen to a lot of old school music.
There you go. There you go.
I always have music going in the background about 98% of the time, different playlists. A lot of Layla Hathaway, Alex Isley, Lucky Day is my.
Wow, some good
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
Gabe is like, okay.
Yep, Gabe is
so
over there
there must
vibing.
be, you know, some spirit in this cake, you know.
Yes. I also been digging a lot of Kenyon Dixon. He's my top fave right now.
I was about to ask you that. See, there's we here.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
Very moist.
So, oh yeah, so this is looking absolutely
you.
fantastic. And again, to go to tell people who might have come in the name of your business.
I'm Nicole with 4 Girls and a Guy Baking Company, and you can follow me on TikTok, Facebook, and Instagram.
Okay. And this kind of parfait looking thing. Well, we're here. What is this?
So I decided to do a cookie mix. I sell a ton of cookies. So for a lot of my out of town customers, and right before Christmas, I decided a lot of people are looking for like gifts under $25 to give to their loved ones and family and coworkers and things like that. So I decided to do like a holiday cookie mix. So I've just kind of carried that over into Valentine's Day. So with each cookie mix, you'll get 12 to 14 cookies. You add 1 stick of melted butter and 1 egg.
Oh, okay.
And then the instructions come on the side of the cookie mix, and it's $23.95.
Oh, okay.
So you get 12 to 14 cookies, which is it's a good deal because if I do a dozen cookies, it's a little bit more than that.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, you can't be competing with yourself.
That's right. So yeah.
So I my mouth is like, hurry up. I want to taste this now. So in fact, I think I just saw Vic walk by and like, oh, they're eating.
They're cutting the cake. Would you like a piece of your own cake?
Oh no! Look, I'm around it all the time. So
All the time.
I'm okay.
This is
You like
Okay.
it?
I'm going in.
and it's not too sweet.
That's
It-
good.
It's
you don't
because
think so? Well, the cake itself, but now the sauce to me can be a little on the sweet side.
Yeah.
This is really good.
Thank
but
you.
but together they go together well. It's not too sweet because I don't eat a lot of sugar. I eat
Mhm.
sugar, but I don't eat a lot of sugar. So.
And when you don't eat a lot of sugar on a regular basis and you do eat something sweet, it's almost like, whoa.
Yeah. No, I ate something the other day,
Really good.
and I was in my office and I reached for something. And I noticed my hand was shaking, so I was like, "Oh, okay, sugar rush." You know, let me chill. You know, so Gabe.
Well, look, I knew Gabe was enjoying it because
Yeah,
he
I'm
got
enjoying
quiet.
it. It's very
And you know, when people
Yeah,
are
when people are
enjoying
quiet,
good food,
yeah.
I heard him.
yeah.
This is very good.
Gabe,
Thank you.
Gabe over here on the knobs and faders said he thinks it's the best rum cake he's ever had.
Yeah, it's very, very good. I mean, it's
And I
moist.
would concur. This is
I'm gonna give
fantastic.
this I know. Well, I'm gonna give you this an official review. This is a 10 out of 10.
Thank you.
We got music going.
Decline. My apologies.
So the caramel that you drizzle on top, did you make that as well?
yes.
Okay. It's
Yep.
very-
I make my own rums. Oh yes, absolutely. And I don't want the alcohol to cook out. I wait until the sauce cools and I add the rum at the end.
This is so good.
It is.
Thank you.
Like,
And these are chocolate chip
Pecan,
pecan
cookies,
cookies.
yes. And then I put a little bit of kosher salt on top to
Oh.
break up the sweetness. So
I catch that.
Yeah, you get
I catch
a
that.
little bit of sweet and
That's
salty.
how I can why I'm enjoying it so much. Just a little bit of that.
Yeah.
See? Tricks of the trade. So have you gotten to the cookie yet, Gabe?
Yeah, I just made it.
Hey, Gabe is quiet. They are quiet on the end. I just hear it. Thank you.
quiet on the set.
Well,
That's how you know.
So,
when the food
and we
is
know we're
good.
professional eaters, so we don't smack. You know, if nobody's over, you know, we just chewing. We got our manners, chewing with our mouth closed. You know,
Hey,
Yeah,
this
we're
is a
not-
no judgment zone.
we're in our best behavior. That's right.
I will not judge you whatsoever.
I know, right? No one looking in the privacy of our home, we be smacking me like.
Well,
I will not
this
judge
is
you.
well, Charlie and JR officially endorse 4 Girls and a Guy Baking Company. This
Yes.
is fantastic.
Thank
So, does anybody
you.
want to try the peach cobbler? You want me to open?
Yes.
Both? Okay.
I'm like,
Hey,
yes.
let's get it cracking. Like,
Okay, let's get it going.
and there's also some pecan sweet potato pies on the other side. And I just
Oh.
created that yesterday, so
Uh-oh.
that'll be a new.
Potato pie.
Yes, in the front.
What is this?
That's gonna be your peach cobbler.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, we scoop out a little bit. There.
Yeah.
Okay.
So this is fantastic. I I am going to I am going to enjoy this thoroughly. So
And I
and
want you to.
and baking since you said 13, since 13.
Yep, since I was 13,
Yeah.
and I'm up there.
Well, you
I
ain't
was just say I'm up there.
you're not up there as far as me, so you're all right. You know.
The me starting at 13 constitutes me baking a very long time. We'll just say that.
Yes, yes. And but you taste the experience. This is, I mean, I wish this is just so
And
moist.
You get what's left. I'll just hand you
Okay.
the container. You can finish that off.
Okay.
How y'all doing over there?
Okay. It's quiet. It's still quiet.
We got
It's
thumbs
still
up
quiet.
again.
Still quiet.
Okay. Oh, okay. So then this is the
Mm.
pecan sweet potato pie. Lord help us.
Oh.
So tomorrow morning when I'm at the gym, I have a mission. You know, I'm a work off
Yes.
all of the extra calories that
Well, I will be
that
doing
I'm
that too
partaking
tomorrow
in.
morning.
Okay.
Anybody
But
else going
tonight-
to the gym tomorrow morning? Yeah, exactly.
But
'cause this-
tonight,
Not me. No,
and I
I'm not
feel
going.
like I'm like a drug. I'm like this shit right here is scary.
I was trying to keep it saying it, but this shit is the bomb. I'm telling you. Yep. It. I love that your craft is faith driven. I love that.
Yes.
You
Oh,
know,
I would not
um,
be here without it. I promise
You
you.
know, it is to me. I mentioned it earlier, but our culture, our society, we've been tricked into being ashamed of God. We've been
No.
tricked into, just a little example. When I was a kid, there was prayer in school. Now, admittedly, and for anyone, everybody knows I roll with Jesus, but I
Right.
don't. But my job is to be an example of what it's like to roll with Jesus, not to argue with anybody about what they think.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
So prayer in school back then was Christian based.
Right.
But
remember that.
But instead of taking prayer out of school, it should have just said, pray to the
Teach
God
Bible.
of your understanding.
Correct.
Have a moment to acknowledge the spiritual part of your being.
Correct.
Because
Yes.
when we threw the baby out with the bathwater, and now we have people who don't have any attachment to their spiritual being.
True.
And I know that that's a bit off topic, but still, I mean, I just taste the love and the home and the faith in your baking. I do. It takes me back to a place where when I was, but
Well, I can tell you, I ate all my rum cake, ate all the peach cobbler. I'm making room for the pecan sweet potato. That's the bomb too, Gabe.
that's the bomb.
You like that?
That Gabe, that's
Pecan
his
sweet potato.
favorite.
That's it. I haven't even released that one yet. I just started it
Okay,
like
yeah.
yesterday. I just
Hey,
created
this
it
is
yesterday.
this is a first. Charlie and speaking of facts for Charlie and JR. This
So you
is
know
a
what?
first.
Because you all approved it, I'm going to release it to the
This is really
public.
good.
Yeah,
I wasn't
this is-
sure if I was going to release it.
this
So
is-
well, let me see. But
Really
yeah,
good. This is really, really good.
Y'all public, y'all need to try this.
exactly. They put their stamp of approval.
So,
Pecan. I got crumbs in my mouth.
yep, this
It's
is.
okay.
I just.
No judgment here.
I'm
No
bouncing.
judgment.
I'm bouncing from place to place. This is so good.
Mhm. So
Gabe, you all right over there?
I'm be on it. Yeah. So I'm gonna be on a sugar high. I'm gonna be up. The crust was really, really good. Did you hand do these crusts too?
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Oh my god,
Yeah.
y'all.
This is. Oh. This
When
is-
I started, I used to on the peach cobbler. At first, I did one peach cobbler. I tried like the store bought crust, and it was like I have some like older cookbooks, so I was like, let me just look in here and see if it's a crust recipe. And I started with that crust, and I never went back because it's just not the same. So
and what kind of rum cake is it?
just rum cake with the butter rum.
Oh,
glaze.
okay.
Mhm.
Okay. This is, and then I have the chocolate chip pecan cookie,
Yep.
and I have the pecan sweet potato pie,
Yes.
and I had the peach cobbler.
Yes.
See, this is dessert heaven.
Yeah, it is. It really is.
Thanksgiving Day all over.
So
again.
tomorrow I'm gonna be doing extra reps and all that good stuff because
Speaking of Thanksgiving Day, you cook food as well.
Do you do meals or do you just complete meals? That's
Like for business or just in general for family? No. Okay, so when my kids were at home, yes, I took a lot of joy in, I would have a lot of people, 20, 25 people over at the house. I cooked, the dressing, the collard greens, sweet potatoes, corn, mac and cheese, just everything, ham. I don't like turkey that
y'all
much.
getting
but I
hungry?
like ham. But because they're grown now and everybody lives out of state, I don't cook anymore. I really don't cook at all. I only cook about once every other month. But I did make myself a pot of gumbo the day before yesterday. I'll do stuff like that because to me that's easy.
Yeah,
you just put, it's like a one pot thing, or I'll cook like clam chowder. But overall, I really don't cook anymore because I don't really need to. Since it's just me, I don't really cook anymore. But I will sometimes.
It's funny that you asked that question because, like, for me, I'm a cooker, and a lot of people think that I can't cook because I'm small, but I feel like I am a good cook.
Oh, you are a good cook.
And so people ask me to even cook for them, but I'm not a baker. So like,
yeah, and you gotta get in your mic, Charlie.
She's talking about Kim.
Turn your mic towards you.
And other people I know, they're like, Charmaine, I need you to make your dressing, different things that I cook. I make homemade egg rolls from scratch. Like,
I do that too.
I am a cooker. Like, I enjoy getting there and making everything from scratch. And so I love like Asian flair dishes. I'm like, all for it.
Absolutely.
I got my oyster sauce, fish oil. I'm in there. Dark soy sauce, light soy sauce.
So do you use the mirin?
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
I do. So yes,
isn't that good?
It is so good. So good. So good. I'm not a baker. Like when I think about baking, I'm just like, what have I baked something that you like? Okay, I make bomb. I make the best Rice Krispie treats ever. You need a Rice Krispie treat? I got you.
Yes, she makes good. Yes, she did.
You
do make good Rice Krispie treats.
So that's something that I have perfected. Thank you very much. And when I'm melting down the marshmallow and I'm stirring and stirring,
that's right.
It's a method.
And then I do make a marshmallow drizzle to go on top to that extra little flair. So I try. So I have the certain things that I do, and that's about it. And then, so maybe you want me to make your Rice Krispie treat?
Sure, absolutely. If it has sugar and butter in it, it's for me.
Yeah, and I love that pure Irish Gold butter. That's that's
so
the trick to
so
my
good.
Rice Krispie treats. Anybody wanted to know that you got my secret?
I was gonna ask you about that.
Yeah. Yeah. That butter melts good, and it's not. It doesn't. It allows it to stay moist.
Yes.
And it doesn't take away the crispiness of the Rice Krispie treat.
Okay.
So you get to go in.
See baking tips over here.
Yeah, well,
see, I have none to offer.
Other butters, it makes the Rice Krispie treat, not as crispy and all of that, and or it's greasy. It's not really.
But
I have to try that.
Turn your mic a
out.
little bit towards you. Yeah, but I have no baking tips to offer. I'm
Well, you said you baked. What did you used to bake?
Well, I mean, it's been a long time, but I did. I used to bake pies. I used to bake cakes. I would be getting there with my mom, and I'd be throwing down.
You know what? That reminds me of a story. When I was in high school, I had this guy he was my boyfriend at the time, and I used to bake him lemon chess pies. To this day, he still asks me
lemon chess pies.
About lemon chess pies. He's my friend on Facebook. He'll probably see this. And,
probably so. And then you can say yes, the lemon chess pie.
Yeah.
Mom. So I have a funny story. I look at mom, be like, Mom, please don't be watching. So, my mom had made some chocolate chip cookies one time, and she put way too much baking powder in them. And so it makes them hard.
Yeah.
For anybody who doesn't know this, it makes them really, really hard.
like bricks.
Yeah, like bricks. And so me and my brother were throwing them at the wall. And at that time, Asford and Simpson was out. The song Solid as a Rock.
Oh my God.
So we were throwing that. This is why people hate their kids,
Solid as a rock.
And we were starting with the wall, and she was so angry at me and my brother. She was like, y'all ungrateful. You know what? I ain't gonna make y'all nothing else.
And to this day, you haven't had another chocolate chip cookie.
No, actually, she actually made that chocolate chip cookie pie that she brought to the house for New Year's.
Oh, okay.
And and they ate it all up.
And she has gotten over her.
She's gotten over it. She has never put that much baking powder in a cookie ever again.
Again, so for anyone
that was
that
another
doesn't
baking
know,
tip for somebody.
That's right.
for anyone that
all
doesn't know
type
why
of
we're so
jewels.
happy, we are eating delicacies.
Yeah, delicacies. I love that.
From Four Girls and a Guy.
Yes,
I almost said
Four
three.
Girls
Four
and a
Girls
Guy.
and a Guy baking,
Baking
company.
Yes.
And
Mhm.
I am just, I am just. This is just so good. This is really,
Thank you.
really good. And I
And the
spend.
proof is in the clean plate.
And well-
I've never ate this many desserts
Well, I was gonna
ever
say the
in
fact
one
that I don't
sitting.
eat a lot of sugar, I have to eat slow. You know,
Yes.
so I gave her my disclaimer before I started because you know I really
Yeah.
as when I was a kid and they wouldn't give me sugar because I would be bouncing off the walls. So
Well,
I have adapted as I you know
Good.
as
That's
you know,
good.
you know, so I allow myself a few of the finer things in life.
that's right.
And you deserve them. We
Yes.
all deserve them.
So
Yes.
how can people get in touch with you? Like, I mean, if there's somebody wanted to rush up here right now because they wanted to get another peach cobbler, or get the cookies, or but how can they get in touch with you? And do you deliver? And what?
Yes, I do deliver in the DFW Metroplex. So you can visit my website at www.fourgirlsandaguy.com. You select the date that you would like your order delivery delivered. You select the time slot, and I deliver. I show up to your doorstep with your goodies.
Mhm.
We also ship within the U.S. So I do ship. Not everything is shippable, but a lot of the menu is shippable. Peach cobbler is shippable. The rum cake, the chocolate chip pecan cookies, the mini pies, the cookie mixes. Those things are all shippable.
Mhm.
So I do that as well.
Excellent.
And then as it gets closer to the warmer months, I'll be going to the local market. So I'm a regular at the Deep Ellum Outdoor Market on
Mhm.
Crowded Street on Saturdays from noon to 6. So I'll be doing that once a month. The other two markets, I haven't decided where I'll be going this year.
Mhm.
I'm contemplating Frisco
Mhm.
and maybe somewhere in the Arlington or Grand Prairie area to kind of get out there. So I'll be doing that 2 to 3 Saturdays a month.
Okay.
And then also through the week, I do a lot of corporate vending. So as people have returned to the office post-COVID, they've allowed vendors to come in and sell. So I have several locations that I go to Monday through Friday. But
Okay.
if anybody knows of any other places, I do have some availability and I can set up in your office.
So you got a little more time, huh?
Yeah, I have a little more time.
I would highly recommend allowing Nicole to bring her delicacies into your establishment. This is
Yeah,
Thank
and you guys, and one question I meant to ask, and I forgot, it slipped my mind. So, how did you hear about speaking the facts with Charlie and JR? Like, were you on Facebook? Did somebody reach out to you? Kind of, how'd you hear about us and bless us with your delicacies?
Well, you owe that to Kim.
Okay, so
She's been my Facebook friend for a long time. It's so funny. I have a lot of friends from Pittsburgh, even though I've only been there once, but I know a lot of people from Pittsburgh. So she reached out. She asked me if I wanted to come on and talk about the business. I said, absolutely. I was so excited
yes,
because this is my first podcast interview, and I was Minnie.
That's right. That's
Minnie
right.
to come, and she was so welcoming and kind. So I was like, I absolutely will. And yes, I will bring y'all stuff. And yes.
Yes.
I couldn't come without treats
Yes.
now. That wouldn't make any sense.
Yes. Well, I love that
Yes.
you brought all of those treats.
I wish y'all could. I wish all of y'all could be here and try this. This is just delicious. I guess we got to move towards getting out of here. This is so good. We didn't take a break or nothing. We just ate
We
and
talked
laughed.
about it, and
But again, Nicole with four girls and a guy baking company, and you can reach her on all the places that she told you earlier.
Yes, Facebook,
Um,
Instagram,
Yes.
TikTok. And if you follow me there, as the summer markets begin to open, I always list where I'm going to go and what I'm going to bring because I take something a little bit different to each market. So
the pecan sweet potato pie needs to go
now
right along
with
with
everything
the
else.
peach cobbler. Like, it's a must.
they say pecan in Georgia. I was in Atlanta last
Uh,
week and they were laughing at me because I was saying pecan.
Oh, yes.
Okay.
Yes.
I don't know.
All I know
They say
is
pecan.
that it's good. You can call it
Anyway,
whatever you like.
Pecan,
So,
pecan, potato, whatever.
we're gonna have to. I guess we don't have to go home, but we got to get out of here. The producer's looking at the clock, so I think next
And
Tuesday
there's
will
probably
be
other people want to come in and get some
Yes,
of these
I
treats.
think next Tuesday, the last Tuesday,
There
we'll
we
be on, and we'll be on Tuesday. But we will see you next Tuesday at 7. And until then, Nicole, thank you so
you for
much.
And I'm gonna
This
be
is-
like, I
and-
want to
yeah.
use these for my closing gifts. Like when people close, I need to be like, I need to say, you know what, and put my order in, and I think that's
Yes,
what I'm gonna do.
I'll take care
Yeah.
of you.
So if y'all close with Kiss Wolf now, you're going to get one of these Treats.
Until next Tuesday, on behalf of Charlie and Kim and Nicole and Gabe and everybody, this is JR, and we will be back next week. Until then, love yourself, because if you do, it'll be a lot easier to love somebody else.
Amen.
We'll see you next Tuesday.
Next Tuesday.
Hey, this is Charlie.
This is JR,
Host of Speaking the Facts with Charlie and JR. Broadcasting live each week on Tuesday at 7 p.m. from Fishbowl Studios.
Log on to hear us speaking the facts on current events, family, and finances.
So be sure to log on each week on Tuesday at 7 p.m. to catch Speaking the Facts with Charlie and JR.
Tune in.